Witnessing the forces of nature at work, there's nothing like it. When allowed, nature has immense power to restore its own balance, to find its own rhythm with the world as it should be, and with all the creatures that inhabit it. This is the awesome process that has just occurred in the Colorado River Delta.
It was an amazing experience to see the river coming alive again.
We demonstrated that it's possible.
This is a precedent. This is a model that people are watching from all over the world.
One of the great rivers of the world, the Colorado River flows some 1,450 miles from the western slopes of the Colorado Rockies onward to its delta. 100 years ago, the delta was a massive, lush region spanning more than 3,000 square miles, filled with native vegetation and home to more than 300 species of birds and animals that supported a way of life for the people who lived there.
It seems strange that you would have all of these green, lush areas growing in the middle of the desert, but that's exactly what used to be here, 100 years ago.
The Colorado River is North America's great desert river, but for the last 50 years, it has not reached its delta or the sea, instead draining away into a sandy desert south of the Mexican border. The parched and withered delta is just a whisper of its former self. The unrelenting quest by humans to grow and tame the forces of nature are largely responsible for its plight. Layer on the effects of a changing climate, and we have a catastrophic natural disaster on our hands. Humans can certainly harm, but humans can also help. Inspired by nature's resilience and the knowledge that a small amount of water can rekindle life, a binational restoration effort in the Delta was launched in the 1990s. The work of nonprofit groups, government agencies, community leaders, and others helped inspire an historic agreement in 2012 between the governments of Mexico and the United States. Called Minute 319, the U.S. and Mexico agreed that working together to save the Delta with more regular water flows was an important priority.
We, as citizens of the Colorado River watershed, decided that this is what we wanted to do, and we made it happen.
In March 2014, the time for action had come. Beginning at the Morelos Dam, located on the U.S.-Mexico border, an unprecedented surge of water called a pulse flow began its historic journey into the Delta, an event intended to mimic the natural spring flooding that used to take place annually in this region. As the gates of the dam opened, U.S. and Mexican officials celebrated the beginning of this unique experiment. Years of work had cemented a new binational partnership, a model of cooperation for all the world to see.
We were there to witness, and when they opened the gates and the river was alive, and it's a complete excitement to everybody.
Watching the water surge past the dam and discovering once again its rightful path towards the sea was a sight to behold.
We weren't just running a demonstration, we were creating a river.
How often have humans witnessed a river being reborn? Inch by inch, foot by foot, mile by mile, in an awesome demonstration of the force of nature, the Colorado River was reclaiming its corridor.
It's a fantastic feeling to have a river running again.
Within days, the surge of fresh water had transformed a dry riverbed at San Luis Rio Colorado, a small Mexican community south of the border, into a river almost 8 feet deep in parts.
Most of the time, the riverbed is dry, but as you can see now, there is water coming in the river, and the water attracts people from the local communities here. So that's why this area is very important, because people get connected again with the river. Kids especially, they haven't seen the water here, so this might be the first time for them to see water here in the river.
The response of the people was amazing. I think that was probably the best surprise, how the communities embraced the river coming back.
Astonished to find a river in their neighborhood, children and families celebrated the return of water and all the joy a natural resource can bring.
Yo lo considero así, fuera una bendición que pudiéramos tener agua ya constantemente aquí en el Río Colorado, ¿verdad?
La agua es vida.
The local reaction to seeing the river conjured back to life in the Delta was really beyond all of our expectations.
8 weeks later, on May 15th, 2014, the water pulse reached the sea in an exhilarating reconnection, an event that had not happened regularly in at least half a century. From the air, it appeared as if the tidal waters of the upper Gulf of California extended its salty fingers to touch once again the cool, fresh water of the Colorado River. Despite all the obstacles, nature had found a way. History was made. The magnificent forces of nature were hard at work once again, for all to see. Water-laden air attracted birds and wildlife to the region like a magnet. It was an invitation to congregate. Recently planted native cottonwoods and willows sprang to life, launching their seedlings in the slow-motion dance. Given the experimental nature of the pulse flow, it will take time to fully understand its benefits and impact on the region.
While the scientists are going to have much to tell us over the next few years about what the ecosystem response is and the groundwater response and how the water moved through the river, a lot of what we had to learn from the pulse flow is what we saw in the human response to what it looked like to move that water into that river channel again.
Of the 260 rivers that cross or form international boundaries, this is the world's first water allocation for the environment.
We had the opportunity today to build on our binational partnership, to make water flows to the Delta region a regular occurrence once again. The future of this region's economy depends on it, as do the lives of the people and communities near the river.
We had two countries, the United States and Mexico, coming together in a collaborative way saying, we are deliberately going to put some of this river's water to use to support nature, to support a healthy river, and to support everything that lives depending on that river.
It's the beginning of a whole new process, to show that we are in a new era of the Colorado River.
Join us in this unique effort to restore life to the Delta. Help us continue the positive change underway. Share the excitement that has captivated people on both sides of the border. You too can become part of this restoration effort. Learn more at raisetheriver.org.